What if you're not lazy at all? What if you're just overwhelmed and no one ever told you the difference? Pause for a moment and think about that, because this one idea might completely change how you see yourself. Problem: the silent struggle. Most people don't wake up wanting to waste their life. They don't wake up thinking, today I'll ignore my goals and do nothing again. Yet that's what it feels like. You sit there, your phone in your hand, your mind full of things you should be doing, and somehow you do none of them. Then the guilt comes. You tell yourself you're lazy, unmotivated, weak. You compare yourself to people online who seem productive, focused, and full of energy. And slowly, quietly, you start believing something is wrong with you. But here's a truth most people never hear. Feeling stuck does not mean you're lazy. It usually means you're overwhelmed. And there's a big difference. The lie we grew up with. From a young age, we're taught a simple rule. If you're not doing something, you're lazy. No one explains burnout. No one explains emotional overload. No one explains mental exhaustion. We just learn to blame ourselves. So when life gets heavy, we don't ask, what's weighing me down? We ask, what's wrong with me? And that question alone can keep you stuck for years. What overwhelm really feels like. Overwhelm doesn't always look dramatic. It doesn't always look like panic or tears. Most of the time, it looks like this. You feel tired even after sleeping. You avoid tasks you know are important. You scroll, snack, or distract yourself without enjoying it. You feel busy all day but accomplish very little. You feel guilty for resting and exhausted from trying. This is not laziness. This is your system saying, there's too much. Your brain is not built for endless pressure. Your brain is amazing, but it has limits. It's designed to solve problems, make decisions, and keep you safe. What it's not designed for is constant notifications, endless to-do lists, social pressure, unclear goals, emotional stress, and zero recovery time. When all of that stacks up, your brain doesn't get more motivated. It shuts down, not because it's broken, but because it's overloaded, just like a phone with too many apps open. A simple example. Imagine carrying grocery bags. One bag is fine, two bags are fine, even three bags might be okay for a short time. But now imagine carrying 10 bags. At some point, it's not about strength anymore. You drop them. Not because you're weak, but because it's too much at once. Life works the same way. Why doing nothing feels safer? When you're overwhelmed, doing nothing feels easier. Not because you don't care, but because starting feels painful. Every task feels heavy. Your brain sees effort as danger, so it chooses the safest option it knows. Avoid. This is not laziness. This is protection. The hidden weight you might be carrying. Sometimes the overwhelm is obvious. Too much work, too many responsibilities, too many expectations. But sometimes it's quieter. Unfinished goals, unspoken worries, fear of failing again, pressure to figure life out, comparing yourself to others. These things don't show up on a to-do list, but they drain energy all the same. Why motivation advice often fails. Most advice says, just push yourself, be disciplined, stop being lazy. But telling an overwhelmed person to push harder is like telling a drowning person to swim faster. What they need is relief, not pressure. You don't need more willpower. This is important. Your problem is not lack of willpower. If it were, you wouldn't feel guilty. You wouldn't feel frustrated. You wouldn't feel stuck wanting to do better. The fact that you care is proof you're not lazy. What you need is less load, not more force. The real question to ask yourself, instead of asking, "Why can't I do anything?" Try asking, "What feels heavy right now?" This question changes everything because now you're listening instead of judging. Small insight that changes behavior. When tasks feel impossible, it's often because they're too big in your head, not because they are big in reality. Your brain sees the whole mountain, not the next step, and that creates paralysis. A simple way to lower overwhelm. Instead of asking yourself to be productive, try this. What is the smallest possible step I can take right now? Not the perfect step, not the full solution, just the smallest one. For example, not clean the room, but move one item. Not fix my life, but drink some water. Not start the project, but open the document. Small steps tell your brain, this is safe, and safety creates movement. Why rest is not the enemy. Many people feel guilty for resting, but rest is not laziness. Rest is maintenance. You wouldn't call your phone lazy for needing to recharge. So why do that to yourself? Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is stop pushing. There's a difference between rest and avoidance. Rest restores you. Escape numbs you. Rest feels gentle. Escape feels distracting but empty. Learning this difference takes time. Be patient with yourself. This matters more than you think. There is no universal timeline. No one is late. No one is early. You're just where you are. Comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel only adds more weight, and you don't need that right now. A gentle reflection moment. Take a breath. Ask yourself quietly, what am I expecting from myself that feels too heavy? You don't need to answer it perfectly. Just notice. Awareness is the first release. Progress looks different. When you're overwhelmed, some days progress looks like getting out of bed, taking a shower, sending one message, choosing not to quit on yourself. These days still count, even if no one sees them. You are not broken. This is not a motivational line, it's a fact. Your reactions make sense based on what you've been carrying. Once you reduce the weight, movement comes naturally. How to start feeling unstuck. Here are a few gentle ideas. Lower your daily expectations. Focus on one thing, not 10. Create space, not pressure. Talk to yourself like a friend. Allow slow progress. You don't need a full plan. You just need kindness and clarity. The most important reminder, you don't need to become a different person. You don't need to fix yourself. You need to understand yourself. And that starts with letting go of the lazy label. Conclusion. If you've been feeling stuck, tired, or unmotivated, you're not lazy, you're human, and you've been carrying more than you realize. Start smaller, be gentler, and give yourself permission to move at a pace that feels safe. If this video made you feel understood, consider liking it so others can find it too. Subscribe if you want more calm, honest conversations like this, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. You're not alone here. Take care of yourself.